Show. Be inspired, be empowered. The Anouk Show.
Yes. Welcome to the Anouk Show, where inspiration meets action, and every single week we show up to motivate, empower, and remind you of your greatness. Listen, we've all got a story. Some chapters will make you cry. Some will make you laugh, and some they'll push you to your knees. But here's the truth. Your story is your power. Own it. Every mistake, every lesson, it all built the version of you standing here today. And in this season, hear me clearly, God is elevating you. Every setback, every tear, every why me moment was necessary for your breakthrough. So as you tune in today, remember, be kind, because you never know what someone is carrying. And even when people play games, let them. That's on them. Your elevation can't be stopped. Get ready, because this is your time, your hour, your show, the Anouk Show. Let's go.
The Anouk Show. Yeah. Anouk Hey, Show. What you say? Anouk Show. Be motivated. Anouk Show. Yeah, yeah. The Anouk Show.
Good morning, and now for the soul. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. This verse states, "But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." This verse emphasizes the fundamental nature of choice in our lives. Joshua urges the people to make a conscious decision about whom they will serve. It reminds us that we all face choices every day, and the decisions we make shape our values, our lives, and our families. Whether it's our commitment to faith, relationships, or personal goals, Joshua resolves to serve the Lord demonstrates the importance of commitment. He sets an example for leadership by choosing not just for himself, but also for his household. This reflects a broader principle of living according to one's values and actively fostering an environment where those values can thrive. It encourages us to think about how our choices affect not just our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Lastly, Joshua chapter 24, verse 15, inspires us to recognize the power of choices and to commit to our values, fostering a life of purpose and integrity. It serves as a reminder to thoughtfully consider what we choose to serve in our daily lives. This is your inspirational moment by Minister Derek Rector.
The Anouk Show. Yeah. Anouk Hey, Show. What you say? Anouk Show. Be motivated. Anouk Show. Yeah, yeah. The Anouk Show. It's inspiration time. Come on and renew your mind. Everybody, it's inspiration time with Anouk.
Today, we have a truly awesome, special, phenomenal guest in store for you. Not only is she an amazing educational consultant who does personal development workshops, online language teaching, she actually speaks fluently 3 languages. This lady is totally amazing. I had the opportunity to meet her last year at an education conference in Galveston, Texas, and I was drawn to her based upon her smile and her spirit. And as soon as I began to chat with her, just to see all of the credentials and all of the stages and all of the amazing work and all of the things that people have had her to do for them. And then I got a chance to see her again this past year at that same conference. And she was real consistent, had that same smile. And I just love when I'm in the presence of just wonderful people. And what I didn't know at the time was she's also a comedian. She's a brilliant comedian. She's just multi-talented. And then she finally heard my show last week, and she began to sing part of the jingle that she sent to me. And guess what? She's definitely going to be on the remix because she has the most amazing voice that just will captivate your heart. So you guys can see why I'm so excited to have the incredible Shenidria join me today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So my name is very difficult to pronounce for most people. My mother could not decide whether she was going to name me Shannon or Deidre. So she combined them and made Shenidria, and it sounds kind of musical. But I answered to Shenidra, Shenane, because people get it wrong all the time.
You have a name like mine. So for Anouk, people have called me all sorts of things. And so I am going to do my best to make sure I pronounce your name correctly because
I will be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, you'll get it. Yeah, it's Shenidria. It's Shenidria.
Shenidria.
There you go.
See, I have it, but it does sound like a melody. It's just very beautiful. And it was nice for you to share the origin of your name.
Absolutely. I have to be understanding with people. It isn't like my name is common. It's unique. It's rare. And so people aren't accustomed to hearing it. You have to be really understanding they don't get it perfect the first time.
Yeah. So thank you for your patience with me on that.
Absolutely.
And it is so very nice to have a unique name, and it aligns with the unique beauty that you are. I just still remember your sweet spirit, that consistent spirit that I've seen at both of the educational conferences.
Thank you.
I'm so honored to have you today. And I just have a few questions for you, but let's start with, life be lifing.
Yes.
And I also say, as life be life and people be peopling, but we know that God be Godding. So
yes.
I'd love for you to share with my listeners today of a defining moment in your life that significantly shaped who you are today, and then also share how you navigated through it all.
Okay. Well, I would say a defining moment in my life was meeting my father when I was 19 years old, because so many people struggle with father issues. And so that was defining for me because there were so many questions I had about, let's say, my background. There were people who would ask me, for instance, if I were Creole. And I always said, I don't know. I mean, I was fluent in French and competed in a French contest. And someone asked me point blank, are you from Louisiana? Do you have people from Louisiana? And I said, no. Well, when I met my father, I realized that I do indeed have roots from Louisiana. And my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, spoke French. But I answered so many questions about my personality because my dad and I had so many things alike. And then my father was a Muslim. And so he broadened my entire world in terms of learning about different peoples and different religions and different, ethnicities and languages beyond my French. Right, I was in love with French when I met my father, and also in love with Spanish. But he exposed me to Arabic, and then I learned about Urdu, and then Punjabi, and and he just really made my perspective very international. And I think that was very defining, because to me, if you want to be a citizen of the world, you have to be able to imagine life from another perspective and not just your own.
Yes. So very true. So very true. So, in the introduction, I've kind of talked about so many things that you have going on. I'm just totally amazed at all the things that you have going on. I don't know how you get it all in, and you do it with so much grace.
Thank you.
I'm quite sure that there's been some challenges that you faced.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So can you share more about what challenges you faced while pursuing some of your goals? and give us some information about what strategies or some mindset that helped you to overcome some of those challenges.
Absolutely. So as a child, I will say I was bullied, and that happened from elementary through high school. And what helped me get through that was going to church and having a mother who poured into me and told me I was beautiful and I was smart. There was nothing wrong with speaking correct English, and then leaning on my teachers. As an adult, I think entrepreneurship was perhaps the most challenging thing I ever embarked upon. And so some of the challenges I've undergone have been age discrimination, because I was only 28 years old when I started, doing educational consulting. So many people felt that I was too young. And so I would let people know that you're not too young to die, so you aren't too young to try. So I began to read books about different Americans who accomplished things at very young ages, and those who did things at very, seasoned ages. So I think reading has been a critical in my mental stability and my business acumen, because I read about the failures of other people and I draw strength from that. So definitely age discrimination. When it comes to, I would call it intra-racism, people within my own race who have done things to make me falter, I tend to not focus on it. I'll deal with it, I'll address it, but I focus on the broader picture, because the majority of people who look like me have been my cheerleaders. And then I also think being centered, because when you're being an entrepreneur, you do have to juggle quite a bit. You're dealing with the marketing, and then the bookkeeping, and you have to deal with like your actual content, what you're going to deliver. And so I have to become very centered with the schedule. So by regimenting my day as an entrepreneur, getting up, doing something, aerobic, having a good breakfast, some good tea, then taking a chunk of time to do marketing, and then really taking hours upon hours to really delve into my craft and to read and hone my skills, and so that's how I think I've been successful. And then embracing my failures, embracing them as a stepping stone to success.
Wow, so powerful. You said you're not too young to die.
That's right.
Not too young to try.
That's right.
Really powerful. And I'm quite sure there's listeners that will resonate with that exact statement. And you're so beautiful. I can't even imagine people would bully you.
Oh, yes. Yes, I was
they want to
bullied.
befriend you.
Yeah, I was bullied in elementary school.
Sorry to hear that, but I'm so glad to see how you didn't let that get to you, and you had your mother pouring into you, and you also began to surround yourself around others that can help you, that built you up. And now life as an entrepreneur, like you said, can be very, challenging. So you have to have that tough skin, and you have to keep it going. So sometimes, as we reflect back on the things that we went through, it was probably positioning us on things we had to get to. And so
That's right.
probably brings you the strength that you need to stay with it during this entrepreneur journey. So
and it makes me very empathetic. It makes me very empathetic and sensitive to other people's needs and the plight of other people. So it made me somewhat of an empath, which is a good thing. It made me sensitive. Like, I don't want to be that mean girl. I don't want to make anyone feel like I was made to feel. So.
Oh, so very powerful. Yes, yes, because you've been in those shoes and you don't want others to walk in those shoes.
No.
That's why you're always smiling, because that's what I remember about every interaction. So it definitely has helped to build you to be such an incredible person. So please stay.
Thank you.
So maybe that's a good segue into the next question is, how do you stay motivated and inspired, especially during difficult times? And what advice would you give others who are struggling to find their own source of inspiration?
I stay motivated and inspired by remembering whose child I am, remembering I'm a child of God, and remembering who my mother is. My mother was a teen mother who poured everything into me. And I remember who my father was, and I remember the greatness I came from, both from my parents and then my ancestors, the ones I'll never know, the names I'll never know. I remember how they endured that Middle Passage, how they endured slavery, emancipation, and then Reconstruction and Jim Crow. I consider all the resources they did not have, yet they fought. And when I remind myself of, wait a minute, your ancestors would love to trade shoes with you. You can get through this. You've been through a hurricane, so don't freak out over a little drizzle here and there, or even a storm here and there. When you've been through so much, you have to learn how to see things for what they are and remember where you've come from. Remember what you've been brought from. Remember when you thought you couldn't make it and you made it. So we have to remind ourselves of what he's brought us through and then renew our minds. And then for other people, the advice I would give for people who are struggling to find the inspiration is I would say do the same thing. Look at where he's brought you from and then reading. If you have a talent or you have an interest, go find a book about it and read about the failures of other people, because we see the result. We see Oprah today, but Oprah has a backstory. So consider that everyone who you see as being successful, everyone who has glory has a story that you don't know. So remind yourself that they too endure failures. And if they can rebound, so can you.
Now, what did you say? Everyone that has glory
Has a backstory. That's right.
Backstory. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Even Dr. King was depressed. Even Dr. King had been suicidal. He tried to jump out of a second floor window and his grandmother died. Yes, but by reading about the failures of other people, it makes you realize that it's okay that you're not perfect. It's okay that it's not right. Okay. That it's not perfect right now. It's okay.
Yeah. And it's part of the process.
Yes.
It's just part of the process. And I think that, with social media being so popular these days, a lot of times that is creating a lot of misconceptions because people typically are posting things on where they're on the top or they're succeeding, and people are not posting a lot about those failures. But we do need those failures to strengthen us and for us to learn from those. And there is no microwave success that people just get it.
Exactly right. Microwave society is what we're in. We're not embracing the delayed gratification that our forefathers had to deal with. And I think one more thing I can say is that I do walk in authenticity. So if I'm having a rough day or having a rough moment, my followers appreciate that. I'll let them know. I'm very authentic and transparent about my own imperfections. Like when I'm teaching grammar, I will point out, well, here are the mistakes I used to make. That's important for people to know that you're human, and that you realize that you once were not where you are today. We can't forget where we came from. That's the worst thing anyone can do is forget where you come from.
Exactly.
And where he's brought you from. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it was so necessary to get you where you are today. And we all make mistakes. We all have first attempts in learning that doesn't always work the way that we want them to. And so if we spend time to also share with folks of how we failed and what we've learned from it, that people will resonate more strongly with that and make a real connection because it will be heartfelt, right? And so I like how you said that in some of your sessions that you do point out some of the mistakes you've made, like even in grammar in the past.
Absolutely.
Because there's no
ones I continue to make. Oh yeah, I'm very transparent.
It's no such thing as perfection at all times. It's no way possible. So I just love that concept. So as we think about in life, you've kind of talked about your mom a little bit. You talked about your dad as well. When you think about some of your role models or some of your biggest sources of inspiration, is there anyone else or any other emphasis that you want to place on that today?
I think if I had to pick someone other than my mother and father, who has been a big inspiration, and other than my husband, because he's everything to me, someone who's not related to me, I would say Tina Knowles. Beyonce's mother has been a big source of inspiration because I met her for the first time, or the only time. I was 15 years old in a hotel room in New Orleans when my roommate's stepmother brought her some money and Tina was with her. And I was just awestruck at how beautiful she was and about how she dressed. She reminded me of my mother because everybody was wearing like the black leather. My mother wore like green, purple, odd color leather. And so was Miss Knowles. She was like donning, a really unique color leather. And I just thought she was beautiful. And then 4 years later, when I was in college, by this time she had a booming beauty shop, and I had gone there to get my hair fixed. I couldn't really afford it, but I treated myself to her sister curl, and she remembered me. And this was before Beyonce and her children even blew up. But at that point, she was my hero because she had this booming business, entrepreneur, and she didn't forget me. Like, she goes, I remember you. She seems to still have that same approachable demeanor. So we live on the same street on Parkwood at different times, and we have a lot of mutual friends. But I can say to myself, she's wildly successful, and I knew her when, and she was very kind. And so there are a lot of people who we know who are successful, but they're not always very kind. So for I to have met her before any of this stardom came, and she was already a star to me.
Yeah,
and my mom was a star.
it means a lot to be kind.
Yes.
God is so kind to us, and we definitely need to make sure that we put kindness first. And I think that's what attracted me to you, is that you have such a kind spirit. You're so beautiful. I can see where, Tina knows she's beautiful on the outside, and now you're also saying she's beautiful on the inside. So it's good
yes.
that, and you look like her to me.
People tell me that.
Resemble. You guys are probably related.
People tell me that, but we do have some mutual friends. We have a lot of mutual friends, and her best friend, who's now passed away, was married to a doctor, Dr. James Watson, who was the first African-American City of Houston health director. Dr. James Watson was my father's very good friend and my dad's medical professor at Baylor College of Medicine. So I ran into Dr. Watson one day in a coffee shop. He'd never met me before, because remember, I met my dad at 19, but I had gone to school with his daughter. And when he sat at the table, he and his friend said, "Man, she look like Tina, don't she?" And my little ego was just I was like, "Ooh, baby, that look like Tina." I think she's stylish and she's beautiful. Yes.
And you're stylish and you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And so are you.
Thank you. So before we exit today's conversation, is there any other advice, information, anything in general you want to share with the listening audience about something that would be uplifting, encouraging, motivating, or empowering?
Yes, I think that at this time in our nation's history, Americans are coming together, and I have always been a very cultured individual who's had friends on both sides of the aisle, people who didn't look like me, didn't pray like me. I've always had this very rich life, right? Rich because I love all of God's children. I mean, He created all of us. And so I just want to encourage people to get out of their comfort zones and befriend someone who doesn't look like you, who doesn't pray like you, who doesn't vote like you, and explore the ways in which your lives intersect. Because what you'll find is that, some of us are limiting ourselves because we don't make the effort to pursue relationships that are beyond superficial ones. And I think that is the best piece of advice I can give anybody, because when we build bridges and find the ways in which we are alike, that is how we grow, and that is how our world becomes a better place, truly.
Amen, sister. Amen. Amen. Yeah, and you have so much going on. I know you want to continue to do all the great work that you're doing in the education arena. I know you do a lot with your company, and you just have a lot going on. How can people reach you if they want to see what you have going on, or if they want to secure any of your services or book you?
Oh, apparently, okay. Well, my name is Grandma Mo, and I am one of the alter egos of Shenidria. I correct people's grammar, and I would recommend that you go to www.shanwag.com. That's a website, and then go on to Facebook and find her, Shenidria Wagner. Shanwag is a page, and I think she has a page called the Shanwag Show. And so Grandma Ma is being trademarked right now, and just stay tuned. I'm coming to a television or a library library near you.
Oh my goodness, that was that was so very awesome. Like real live showing your talent all around. Totally amazing. So thank you so much, beautiful, for joining us today on this show. And you've really highlighted your incredible talent. You've given some amazing insights. It's truly been a pleasure to hear more about your journey and what really drives you. I wish you continued success in all.
I want to say thank you very much, Anouk. This is Lupita from Puerto Rico. I want to say thank you very much for having me on the show today. And I'm going to come back another time, okay? We're going to have a very good time together.
You're always welcome. I tell you, because I see that you got many voices and we can have so much fun.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much, Anouk. This is wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, I do wish you continued success in all that you do. I know you got a lot more left in store and the best is yet to come. And we definitely have to have you back on the show to hear more. What a wonderful conversation from just...
Sounds wonderful. I can't wait. Thank you, Anouk. Have a blessed day, okay?
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay, ta-ta. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Anouk Show. Yeah. Anouk Say what you say. Anouk Show. Be motivated. Anouk Show. Yeah, yeah. The Anouk Show.
Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You know, retirement at 52 years young isn't just a dream. It's my reality. And it happened because I had the right person in my corner. His name, Scott V. Scott isn't just a financial advisor. He's a friend, a guide, and someone who genuinely cares. From life insurance to long-term care planning to building a strategy for real financial freedom. Scott V helped me turn vision into victory. And I want that for you. If you're ready to stop hoping and start planning, reach out to Scott V. He listens, he understands, and more importantly, he delivers. Because it's not just about money. It's about living with peace of mind and with purpose. Trust me, with Scott V, you're not just securing your future, you're elevating your now. So I highly recommend Scott V for your life insurance needs, for long-term care planning needs, or overall financial advisement. Scott is the guy, Scott V. You can contact him at 949-278-5267. Again, that's 949-278-5267. Tell him Anouk sent you.
It's inspiration time. Come on and renew your mind. Everybody, it's inspiration time with Anouk.
Family, that's our time for today on The Anouk Show. Remember this, no matter what life throws your way, your story is still being written, and your next chapter can be your best one yet. And if you're in the Houston, Texas area or even nearby, come out and support my guest from today's show. She's bringing the laughs and the loves with her August comedy set this Saturday, August 23rd in Pearland, Texas. Can't make it in person? No excuses. You can stream it live. It all goes down at 7:45 p.m. Central Time. For all the details, check out Comic and Author Moy on Facebook. That's COMIC and author AUTORMOI. That's on Facebook again. Let's please show up and show out with our support. We all need each other. Let's support. Let's support. And as you continue the rest of your week and go into your weekend, let me leave you with this. Be kind. It costs you nothing, but it can mean everything because you never know what someone has been through or is still going through. Give grace always. Kindness is the only language that speaks to every soul. Being kind doesn't make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. A moment of kindness can rewrite someone's entire day. Kindness is the seed. Greatness is the fruit. Even when the world tests you, answer with grace. Kindness is strength wearing a gentle smile. Be the light that reminds someone the darkness won't last. Kindness does not need an audience. It just needs your heart. Give grace freely, even when it's not deserved. That's when it matters most. Kindness is the quiet power that turns strangers into family. I really do appreciate each and every one of you all for tuning in and supporting the Anouk Show. We will be back here, same place, same time next week. Please tell a friend to tell a friend and keep supporting. We appreciate you. Let's continue to spread words of positivity. Be inspired and keep on keeping on.
All right. I pray that you've been inspired.
Protect your peace. Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 3. He will keep you in perfect peace. Keep your mind stayed on Him.
The Anouk Show. Be inspired. Be empowered.